Hello, hello. It's me, Veronica. And today we are flying a Spirit Airlines Airbus A321 from, and I'm definitely not going to say this right, but Krakow, Poland to Kyiv, Ukraine. This was by viewer request, just like the last one. And this will also be our first stream with a commercial airliner. So there's a lot more setup involved with this one. Hopefully you guys find it entertaining. But we're gonna start from completely cold and dark. And we're gonna set up the whole flight from scratch. So first things first, battery and external power. And the external power is, I'm sorry, I'm moving the camera around a lot. The external power is that little guy. It's a mobile generator that powers the plane on the ground. Let me just wait for our screens to light up. I'm also going to turn on the navigation system and the navigation lights and the passenger signs. This is an Airbus, which means that it uses a side stick, so I will be flying with my stick today. So, in a second here, my map is going to open up. But let's plan the flight on the tablet first so that we can figure out where we're going and get the flight plan coordinated. So, set as departure. And our destination is that. What runway are we near? That's runway 25, so that's what we'll take off on. And if we go over here, I'm just going to look at our destination airport. So the terminal is over here. I'm going to say, yeah, runway 18 will land on that runway. We'll come in like that. That looks good. So let's go back here. And this actually calculates the arrival and approach procedure automatically, which is why I like it. It's one of my favorite features of FS 2024 is the built-in flight planning. It saves a lot of steps compared to having to, in older sims, you used to have to look at the different procedures. Like there's all these different procedures for each airport, and you'd have to look at each one to see which one goes in the direction that you want. But FS 2024 picks the departure and arrival procedures automatically, which is very convenient. So yeah, so now we're just going to, now that we have our system alive here, we can go ahead and input that into the plane navigation system. And so this is our map. We can change it to different modes here. I'm going to change it to plan mode, which is going to help us plan out the route by displaying the whole route. So Departure is, airport code is EPKK, and our arrival is UKBB. And every time I hear that, I just think about the sentence, somebody being like, you okay, baby? Because the airport code is UKBB, and I just keep thinking about that. Just some guy being like, UK, baby? Anyways. So we are gonna fly with a fully loaded plane. So I haven't quite mastered the workflow here, but I'm gonna do what I can, the best that I can. It might be a little disjointed, but basically I'm going to set up the flight plan in the computer first. So we'll set our departure, departing from runway 25, and we're following the Luxa 5J departure procedure. So find that in here, insert, and there we go in here, arrival, we're arriving on runway 18 left via SLV 2E. There it is. And there's our whole flight plan put in. Nice and easy. What next? Okay, so I'll just set a cruising altitude as a placeholder, because we're going to fine-tune that once we get the weights set. Okay, so this is how we're going to load people onto our plane. So I'm going to set maximum passengers. And as for the cargo, so we have to watch our max weight here. This is with everything, including fuel. But we have to make sure that we have enough fuel for the flight. So I'm going to set 0 fuel weight, which is the weight of the plane without fuel, to whatever its highest is. And the way that I check to see what the highest 0 fuel weight is I punch numbers into the computer here, into the 0 fuel weight range. And if it comes back saying 0 fuel weight out of range, that means that it's too high and it exceeds the plane's maximum 0 fuel weight. So if I do 75,000 kilograms, it lets me put that in. But if I do 78,000 kilograms, it says entry out of range, which means that that's higher than what the plane is capable of. If I do 76, still, did I just like get it like right on the first try? 75.5. Okay. We'll do 75.5 thousand kilograms as our 0 fuel weight. So I'm going to set that to 75,500 kilograms, give or take. And then I'm going to hit this button, which is going to calculate how much fuel we need momentarily. So it says we need 4.8 thousand kilograms of fuel, so that's what we're going to put in it. And I'll confirm that. And our zero fuel. Let me just finish putting in these numbers here. 2. Okay. And our optimum cruise altitude has been calculated as 35,400 feet, so we're just going to keep it at 35,000 that I put in randomly. And on that note, we're all set to go. I think. Let me just double check. Why does that say that we're gonna have that much fuel left over at the end? That doesn't sound right. Not that I'm complaining, of course. Oh well. Okay. So we are fully loaded. Now we can get ready to get started. So I'm going to turn on the APU, the Auxiliary Power Unit, which is the onboard mini engine that powers the plane independently of the main engines. And that's what's going to start the engines. And it does take a few minutes to start up. But other than that, we are good to go. Oof, I'm hitting some lag here. And you can hear the APU starting up. Yeah, I am a little suspicious, but from what I can tell, everything checks out, so I'm just gonna roll with it. Our APU is just about started up. And you can hear the air conditioning kicking on. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the external power. Turn on our beacon lights. And let's get out of here. I'm going to disconnect the jetway. Bye-bye. Before I forget, let me just calculate my takeoff numbers. 136, 141, 155. Okay, and the flex temperature, 43. I will explain what some of this is in a moment. This is very annoying. Every time I click somewhere on this tablet, it also opens the sunshade because the click spots are the same. Somebody needs to fix that. But yeah, let's call the pushback. And as soon as that connects, it's going to push us back, hence its name, the pushback. So I'm going to turn on the fuel pumps and we're going to get ready to start these engines. Parking brake disconnected and off we go. So to start the engines, it's very easy on an Airbus. We just set the ignition to start, and then we flip the switch for each engine. Oh, don't put me that way. Push me that way. So the engine number 1 is spinning up. So our total flight distance is going to be 470 miles. And when we get up to cruising altitude, I am going to speed up the sim rate, which I never do. But since we're on stream here, I'm going to do it just so that we're not just sitting here for an hour. Just to make it go by a little faster. Engine number 1 is running, so I'm going to turn on engine number 2. I'm getting like way worse FPS outside than I am inside, which is crazy. And it's only running like this because I'm streaming. But whatever, I can just stay inside. Engine number 2 is making its way up. I'm gonna set up some of the other stuff. Turn on the wind shear. And I gotta remember how to turn on the transponder. That way. Yep, okay. Right? Yeah, okay, there we go. And we're up and running now. So I'm gonna set our flaps, arm our spoilers, turn off the APU, turn on the taxi light, and off we go. So we're going to do what's called a flex takeoff. And what that means is basically we're going to intentionally derate the engine power so that it uses less fuel and less wear on the engines during takeoff, because normally you take off with maximum power, but that's over time very hard on the engine. So a lot of the time what they do, if they have the runway space, is they do what's called a flex takeoff. So basically you trick the engine into thinking that it's a hotter temperature outside than it actually is. That's called the flex takeoff temperature. And when it's hotter, the engines produce less power. So you tell the computer that it's hotter than it is, and the engines will run with less power, thus having less wear on the engines. Just a fun little thing that they do. I am getting a pretty nasty lag spike here. Hopefully that clears up momentarily. Once I get out of the airport, it should be better. There it goes. Man, I need a GPU upgrade. Okay. Let me just see if I can clear some stuff here, make it a little less laggy. So before takeoff, we're going to turn on the landing lights and the strobe lights. And we're ready to go. Why don't they just set the throttles to 90% instead of fooling the FADEC? You know, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. There's a lot of things about aviation that they just kind of do. A little wide on that turn there. Oopsies. And let's go. $60 knots. $100 knots. V1, rotate. Gear up. Looks like we're hitting some wind. Start retracting the flaps. Why is this flying weird? That might be my joystick, honestly. It's been acting weird lately. Actually, no, it doesn't look like it. What is going on here? That is really weird. It wasn't doing this before. What if I hit the autopilot? Okay. Well, that was very weird. Time for a new stick? Ugh. Oh, not. I want to say that was like a game issue, because I was just flying all day today with no problems. Let me try turning it off the autopilot. Yeah, what is that? That is so weird. I don't think that's a stick problem, because I don't see the stick on the game moving when that happens. Stop it. Stop it. What is it doing? But if I hit the autopilot, it's perfect. That is so weird. That's never happened before. Anyways, we're at 10,000 feet. I'm turning off the landing lights. Ah, that's gotta be like a game issue. That's just weird. But we're doing this. Everyone knows that once the plane is in the air, there's no going back. It's the law. Yes, at the very least it will make the landing very interesting. Did you just change your name? You did. I'm like, why is two people with the same profile picture? I turned back for an engine fire, and that's about it. That's the spirit. I don't turn back. Not even for an engine fire. I will get out and push if I have to. But yeah, we're cruising now. Too many A names. Oh god, why am I hitting such a lag spike every time I turn around? But let's go for a walk. There we go, nice first class seat. Let's sit like... Yeah, I don't know, I like to see the wing when I sit. Ah, there we go. Oh, I'm back. I'm hunched over like this. Too long. Poland, the land of Poles. Really? Your exact seat, you say? 21. That's what row I'm in. Except an aisle, so you were here. Anna's Corner Simulator 2025. Anna Last Week Simulator. This is some weird looking fields down there. I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna go back up and fly the plane. Nice talking to you all. This stream is not sponsored by Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines. It's in the game. Or something, I don't know. Yeah, pilots should come talk to the passengers more. I mean, what do they do up there? They're too cool to come sit with us in the back? Just because they fly the plane, they can't come talk to us lowly passengers? Look at those fields out there. What is that? Alright, I'm going to attempt to speed up the sim rate just a little bit. Hopefully the game doesn't explode when I do this. So let's see. Did that actually do something? Hold on, let me set the timer here so we can measure this. Am I stupid? It's supposed to be Alt R. Okay. For some reason the sim rate is not speeding up. So it looks like we're stuck here. Oh. Uh-oh. Did I forget to do something? No. Okay. It is, yeah, it's supposed to be Alt-R. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I'm pressing. Alt-R plus. This is so weird. Okay. Maybe I do this then. I'll just quickly bind it to an extra button on my controller. Let's do that button. Oh wait, no. That, no, wait. That button and that button. That worked. Okay. Now we sped up. That is so weird. It should be working the way it was, but whatever. So if I set my timer, speed it up. There we go. Now we're at double speed. Can she handle quadruple speed? Yes, she can, but I'm not going to push it more than that. So now we are running at 4x speed. Landing gear pins, that's not good. Alright, and we've just reached our cruise altitude of 35,000 feet. Okay, so let me catch up here. Airbus or Boeing, which do you like better? I tend to fly the Airbuses more because they're a lot easier to fly, because a lot of the stuff is more automated, but sometimes I do like to get into a Boeing because it's nice to change it up, and it's nice to have more switches to flick and stuff. See, like an Airbus automates a lot of stuff. Like you basically, when you use the throttle, you keep it in the climb position, and the climb position is basically like the auto throttle position. So you put it in climb and then it just stays there for pretty much the entirety of the flight, and you only turn it off. You only take it out of climb if you're like manually taking control, or when you're just above the runway on landing and you pull the power back to land. Another thing is Airbus is fly-by-wire, which means that you do not have direct control over the plane. So the joystick is basically just a suggestion, not a command. So basically, the computer, fly-by-wire means that the computer controls the plane and the flight control surfaces, and you are just giving inputs on what you want it to do. And it can override you, so like you couldn't do like a barrel roll in this thing because it has like boundaries that it has to enforce. Not that you would ever want to do a barrel roll. But it's nice because it basically means that the plane flies itself even when the autopilot is off. So like you don't have to like trim it at all. If you have no input on the stick, it's going to fly exactly where it's pointed, no matter what your speed is or anything, which is good for smoothness and stuff, but it also can be pretty boring sometimes. So sometimes it's nice to get into a Boeing where you get to actually fly the thing. But yeah, it's an Airbus. It is a bus in the air. It's not really meant to be fun all the time, even though it is, because it's still a plane. Yes, trimming without feedback is tricky. Definitely. So as you can see, with our sim rate increased, we are now in Concorde mode. We have 217 miles to go. It's actually going by very fast. I don't think... Hold on. What did I forget? I do have a top of descent. They must be hidden on the map. Behind something. No. Something is weird. Something is wrong. I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong because we don't have a top of descent phase. So the plane doesn't know when to descend on its own. And I'm just sitting here trying to think of what I did wrong. I don't know. It's whatever. I can just do it manually. It's all good. I must be in the Twilight Zone right now because I fly this plane just about every day. And for some reason things are just going wrong. Naturally, it's gonna happen on a stream. Because when else would it happen? That's a cool picture, actually. Let me take a picture of that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I did everything the way that I always do it. At least as far as I can remember. Maybe I'm forgetting something. Yeah, between the weird fuel discrepancy thing, the suspiciously high remaining fuel, and between that and the top of descent thing, I must have done something wrong somewhere. And I'm sure I'll watch the stream back and I'll be like, oh, there it is, idiot. Okay, I've set us back to normal sim rate because it is now time to descend. If only there was something we could do to not forget things. like a list we could check. That is a good point. Someone should invent something like that. Dare I say, they should call it a checklist. I don't do checklists, okay? I make the checklists, I don't read them. I am the checklist. You can see how well that works out for me. Very well, actually. Just, this is literally the first time in a long time that I've, like, messed something up to such an extent. But we will get there, regardless. And like I said, there's evil afoot somewhere, because like the way that the plane was flying weird for no reason, there's something amiss somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. What are you saying about me in there? That's right. Checklists are for people who hate surprises and fun. How interesting would this be if everything just went perfectly as planned, and then we're just like, okay, that was the flight, thanks for coming. No, we're making this interesting by suffering from technical difficulties and pushing through them. I'm gonna speed us up to double speed. Oh, you know what? It did something. Wait, hold on. Yeah, when I touched my sim rate control, it like did something to the autopilot. Ready, watch this. If I hit the sim rate button, it switches it to vertical speed mode. What is that? Why is that doing that? I wonder if that has something to do with why my stuff isn't working. I wonder if there's some kind of control double binding. You know what? I didn't check that actually. Yeah, like two controls are bound to the same button. Let me check that real quick. Search by input. Oh yeah, toggle autopilot vertical speed hold and increase sim rate. They're connected to the same button. What about this one? Toggle autopilot master? Okay. So, we are descending into Ukraine. Pretty nice. So we've got about 40 miles left. I'm gonna hit the speed brakes a little bit because it feels like we're a little high. Looks like a nice area. Alright, and we'll just kind of glide our way down the rest of the way. Since we're under 10,000 feet, I'll switch the landing lights on. Set the barometer. Altimeter, sorry. Same thing. So this is our approach here. We're flying kind of like that. I'm going to attempt to take over control here. Okay, so far so good. I'm gonna slow our descent. I'm actually also drifting off course, but I'm kind of just gonna start doing my own thing right now. Oh geez. There it goes. And I don't know. Okay, fine. Fine. Go back on autopilot. But I'm still gonna tell you what to do. In my own way. I'm gonna hit the flaps. We're gonna reduce our speed a little bit. How far are we? 17 miles, okay. That's really close. Is it out there somewhere? Oh yeah, it's way out there. Yeah, this landing is gonna be a little interesting. But that's the way we like it here. Set some more flaps. Yeah, we're all set. Gonna arm the approach control. That's right. That's why I land at cruising speed. Why waste time slowing down when I can just land at 300 knots? So we've captured the localizer. As you can see. And we're soon going to be capturing the glide slope. And we've captured the glide slope. I'm going to put the gear down. And set some more flaps. Look at that landscape. Poor Ukraine. Looks so peaceful. Take a screenshot somewhere. There we go. Alright, and we're ready for landing.
1,000.
I'm gonna wait as long as I can to disconnect the autopilot so that we don't, like, crash. But I'm getting ready.
400.
Although it will actually land the plane on its own. But where's the fun in that?
200.
Okay, disconnect. We're now flying manually.
100.
Come on, baby, stay. Oh, no. Stay with me,
50,
come on.
40, 30, 20. Retard. 10. Retard. 5. Retard. Retard. Retard.
Okay. All things considered, that was... Oh, wait, hold on. Oh. Don't speak too soon. Okay. All things considered, that was a pretty good landing. Thank you. Thank you very much. Strobe lights off, landing lights off. I'm gonna keep the APU off. And when we park at the gate, we're just gonna plug in the external power. Welcome to Ukraine. Oh, I got a burp. I hope there's a gate for us available. Because as we all know, or maybe we don't know, but Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 overpopulates the airports with AI static traffic very much, and often leaves us without a place to park. Hopefully that's not the case. Ladies and gentlemen, blarp. Yeah, I would do that. Just getting on the cabin speaker and just burping. Could you imagine that in real life? Okay. It looks like there is a spot next to this A319. Yeah, you can turn it down. I'm going to have to do that. Hope we're not gonna hit this guy. Oh, we're definitely... Nope. I think we just missed him. Alright. And now let's pretend that there's people there. They connected our ground power. So we can switch to that, and we can shut her down. Turn off the seatbelt sign. And our engines are rolling down. Give us that jetway. Alright. We are now deboarding for our flight from Krakow, Poland, hopefully I'm saying that right, to Kyiv, Ukraine. So that concludes our flight. Before I go though, interesting news. I have decided definitively that I am buying a VR set. I'm going to buy a MetaQuest 3. And I'm going to be purchasing that sometime this week, as soon as I get paid. The money usually hits my account on Tuesday morning. And then I'm going to get it on Amazon so that it comes the next day. But yeah, so I will set that up sometime during the week, and then hopefully my next stream will probably be on VR. So that's going to be fun. I'm also going to play Derail Valley on VR too, which is a train simulator that I like very much. So yeah, exciting things are happening. Anyways, with that being said, thanks to everyone who tuned in. It was a lot of fun flying with you all. Catch up with me on Blue Sky at that's my handle, but my username is veryveronicap. And yeah, see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.